Welcome to the Upshot, Multi-World Disc Golf's podcast about the latest in the disc golf world. I'm the editor, Charlie Eisenhood. Joining me is Josh Mansfield on this Tuesday, May 13th. Josh, it's a very exciting time in our favorite sports. The New York Knicks are up 3-1 on the Celtics. Tremendous win last night. Prayers up to Jason Tatum, though, who suffered a pretty bad-looking ankle injury. Dallas Stars are still in the playoffs. They're kicking.
They're doing well, yeah. And we've got Hellebuck on the road, which is like it's like playing against a brick of Swiss cheese. It's great. It's great.
And honestly, disc golf is like a little boring right now. Can we be honest about that? Right? We come off the major and it's just like there's no tournaments.
Mm-hmm.
And we have Cascade Challenge, which like coming up this weekend, which like, okay, like I'm not super stoked. Feels like a bridge tournament to Portland.
Sure.
Which has to happen, right?
Yeah.
And once we're in it, I'll be watching and I'm sure I'll enjoy it. But
yeah, I will.
I'm just not fired up.
And it's too bad for the Cascade Challenge because I think in a different context, like it's great. It's a great tournament to have. I'm glad we're having it, but it's stuck between the first West Coast major in how many years, and like World's Preview. and the Northwest Challenge World's Preview, which features two of the best courses on tour. I mean, honestly, by the time the end of the season comes, there's a very real possibility that Northwest Challenge will take like top spot as the best pair of courses on tour.
Are you prepared to
I might be, man.
Knock GMC and Ledgestone off the top?
Northwest Challenge, like Glendoveer is amazing on its own, but you pair that with Milo, like tell me that is not just like a pair of dream courses.
It's a pair of dream courses. This is what I've wanted this tournament to be.
Yes.
Basically, since they spun up the Portland Open.
Yes.
I remember they sidelined Beaver State, and I was like, "Why are you sidelining Beaver State?" And they had reasons. Mostly event, professionalism.
I thought it was like
reasons.
Well, it was COVID.
Then there was the COVID. They wouldn't let them play. Then we had the fire. You're right. There were a bunch of things.
There were lots.
But now we're finally doing the logical thing, which is like taking these two really great courses, comboing this tournament into one Portland event that the Oregon and really Pacific Northwest can be just so excited about. And we're going to get a look at how these courses might play for Worlds. We're going to be talking about that for 2 years to come after this event.
Yep.
I'm so excited.
Me too. Me too.
Cascade Challenge is coming up before that. So we're going to have a light show today because there's just not a whole lot going on. I mean, we got the Masters Championships. Nate Sexton wins his first time playing at the Masters Championships. Pretty cool stuff. And it was funny to see Innova being like, Nate Sexton is making his Masters debut, doing all this social media around it. And I'm like, you know what? It's on brand.
Yeah.
They probably sell a lot to boomers.
They probably
and old heads. And Nate Sexton is a super popular player, period.
Yeah.
And who else is getting excited about a Masters tournament ever? I'm sorry.
It's the guys who are that age, who'd be playing in that. Yeah.
People who have been who've been around the sport for a while, who've maybe been throwing Innova for 10, 20 years, and now they can watch Nate Sexton play at this level. It's cool. And good for Nate.
Cool.
So what we're going to do today is we're going to do something a little different where we basically, Josh and I are going to do our own mailbag. We are going to just bring up topics that we want to talk about. Disc golf or otherwise, and we're going to just do, we have not prepped each other on the topics. So we're just going to bring it up and we're going to talk about it. And then it'll probably be a 30-minute episode today. And we'll be back with you Thursday to preview Cascade Challenge and maybe do a little stock up, stock down at this juncture of the season. It's been a while.
Time. It's a good time.
It's a good time.
Yeah.
So Josh, I'll give you the stage. What's on your mind?
Okay. First thing I'm going to hit. I saw this on Reddit. It's now been a month actually, and I want to get it, and I have not yet. And so I need to, but because there's early access. Oh, I guess you have to join a wait list. Disc Golf Masters not to be confused with the Masters major that we just had. It's a new game from the creators of Disc Golf Valley, but it's coming to like Steam, Xbox, PlayStation, so mainstream consoles, and it looks pretty cool. And here's the thing, Charlie. I think that there is a real opportunity to capture people who otherwise would not find the sport through video games. And especially on like a website like Steam, like there are so many random niche games that get popped up by the algorithm because of Steam sales and all sorts of things. And so like people finding disc golf through Disc Golf Masters, this new game, is something that I could totally like. It's very conceivable to me.
You know, I feel like Disc Golf Valley's been a pretty good success. I mean, I don't really have a sense of like how much money they make or like how many people are playing, but I feel like people are pretty into it. I've played it. It's pretty fun.
Yeah.
And now they have this new PC and console game coming out. By the way, Disc Golf Valley, I'm looking at the press release that the Disc Golf Masters folks sent over. Disc Golf Valley has more than 20 million downloads. So like that's a lot.
That's a lot.
And so I guess it's still not launched, but it's coming soon to early access on Steam.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen any updates since I got the info from them back at the end of March. So I would imagine sometime in the next month or so, we'll see this come out. And there's some like gameplay videos. It looks pretty nice.
Yeah.
It certainly looks like nice enough to play. And
right.
Try and show your friends.
Yeah. Like they've done a nice job with it enough that like it's not like this ain't my thing, right? Like if you're into disc golf, you're into games, like this is really something that people might actually try and play, and I hope that it gets the kind of popularity that it could reach people who aren't disc golfers already.
I've always liked how Disc Golf Valley has basically used the backing of the House of Discs brands to like brand the discs in the game. That's just smart marketing. I've always thought that was smart.
Yeah, you should do the same thing in this game. If they can reach out to companies and get licensing fees or licensing rights to name discs and put them in the game, like, man, it's such easy marketing. If someone in game is like, yeah, my favorite game in this disc is a Sexton Firebird, right? Like they're gonna go buy Sexton Firebird.
Yeah, no, totally. And I think it says there's going to be career mode and local and online multiplayer.
It's so cool.
Got to check it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
Josh, I wanted to circle back to something that kind of feels topical this week. Is there now a little too much air in the disc golf schedule? Weekends without tournaments? Or are you cool with the amount of off weeks that we've had so far this season?
That's a good question. I think I actually am cool with it. I think that the air is good. I think that for you and I, that feels a little bit weird, right? Because we get to weeks like this and we're like, well, what's going on? Where's the tournament? Where's the golf? And when we have that off weekend, it kind of it is very apparent to us. I don't think that we are the right representation of how that feels. I think that for most people, it's nice to have weekends where they feel like they are, they're not missing anything, that they can just, spend time with their family, go disc golfing, play tournaments. And I think the problem is that when you put it on every weekend, it's honestly, I think that by making the schedule too full, you run into the MLB problem where there's so many games that none of them feel important.
Yeah.
And so it's you miss one, whatever, it doesn't matter. And that's a really easy way to create apathy around the sport. And people only tuning in for the majors, which, is going to happen anyway. But I think if you create a little bit of scarcity so that people are excited when disc golf is on, live disc golf is on, then you probably got a better chance of getting to sit down, at least for Championship Sunday.
I mean, this is how I feel. I think, remember how annoying, maybe for Champions Cup, it doesn't feel like as big of a deal, but it's annoying to come off of a tournament and immediately have like a major and immediately have another tournament that we're supposed to care about.
Yeah.
Like USDGC into DGPT Championship every year. I'm like, I'm sorry, I just can't get up for this. Like, I'll watch,
Right.
but I'm not going to be hyped.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so now we get this breather. Now, I guess in a way, I kind of wish like we were going straight to Northwest Disc Golf Championship, but I think it's nice to have the space in the calendar to take that breath. And I will note, we're now about to get into alternating US and Europe events for a long time.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to have disc golf on every weekend from now through like July.
Right.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, I'm looking at the schedule right now, we do not have another off weekend until after the European Disc Golf Festival, which is a major. And then, I lie. Between PCS and Crocal, there's a week off.
Okay.
So that's early July. Is that? No, I guess that's wrong. July 6th to July 11th.
No, that's same. That's one.
No,
week.
same weekend. It's a little bit longer because it's a Friday event.
Okay.
So yeah, no, what I said is correct. The next weekend that is off is between European Disc Golf Festival and Worlds.
Yeah.
And Worlds, of course, starts Wednesday. So it's like, it's only
kind of. Yeah. Yeah.
What? 9 days off? And we're going to need that, right? Everyone's going to want that space before we go to Worlds.
Yes.
And then the next weekend after that's off is not until after Idlewild, before we start the like home stretch of the season in September. So
maybe you spoke a little.
If you've been feeling like you haven't had enough disc golf in your life, do not fear.
it is coming. And
but the opposite, US Europe, it works really well.
It works so much
from a
better.
scheduling standpoint.
Yeah. If you need a sport to watch, go watch playoff hockey. It's the best. All right, next one, also coming from Reddit. Former Oregon Ducks and Kansas City Chiefs player DeAnthony Thomas has gotten big into the sport. He's got all sorts of Instagram videos of him playing disc golf now. There's a bunch of people who've said, he says this top comment, I play with him a lot. We share a home course. Great guy. He's always playing, hanging out. Came out and helped with course maintenance. Like, can't say enough good stuff about this guy. So
yeah, Bryce sent us an email. Played in an A tier with DeAnthony, and I guess he's been playing about 2 months ago, and he's like fully hooked.
That's so cool.
And so yeah, what's DeAnthony Thomas's story again? He played.
It was Chiefs, and then I think he went to the Ravens for a little while.
Let's see. Played college football for Oregon Ducks. Picked by the fourth round by the Chiefs in the 2014 draft. He played for the Chiefs until 2019, and he was on the Ravens for 2 years, or maybe one season, and then that was basically it. But he was, first team All Pac-12. Scored 7 touchdowns in his career. 5'9", 4.3, 540. He was the number 1 recruit in every recruit ranking coming into college.
Wow.
How about that?
All right. That's impressive.
I didn't know that.
I didn't either. Oh, he's kind of a little guy.
Yeah.
He's only 5'9".
Super fast running back.
Yeah.
4.3, 540 is no joke.
No, it is not. Well, he was a wide receiver.
I think he came into college as a running back.
Okay.
But it makes sense that they would transition him to receiver.
Yes, that is an
stature.
undersized back. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
He was also a track sprinter.
That's
Division I All-American as an anchor of their 4x100 team, which makes sense. Again, the dude is super fast,
crazy fast.
He ran a 10.2500 and a 20.39 200. Extremely fast.
So, Charlie, I was about to say, it's too bad he picked a sport where the speed is not going to help him at all. However, there is one house rule, like friend rule, that is available to him. Have you ever heard the rule that if your throw is so bad that if you can go get your disc and get back on the tee pad within 10 seconds, you can rethrow with no penalty?
He's gonna light him up.
That man can make it halfway down the fairway. It's like, at circle 2, not good enough. Runs and gets his disc and comes back. It's outrageous.
And in high school, in Crenshaw High School in LA, he played running back, defensive back, and wide receiver. He had 5 interceptions on defense, rushed for 1,300 yards and 18 touchdowns. Amazing. Well, welcome to the sport, D'Anthony. If you're listening to the pod, I'm glad to have you. And cool story.
Come on the pod, D'Anthony. You want to come talk disc golf and football? Would love to have you.
Let's see. My next one, Josh.
Okay.
More trouble in the House of Discs universe. Just had a couple of longtime U.S. Discmania employees resign and leave pretty lengthy posts on social media about their resignations.
Really?
Austin Montgomery, the longtime brand director and basically the boss of Discmania US, and Chris Brubeck, product manager, both departing Discmania. And it seems like the Colorado operations are being cut even further. Remember last year they cut the warehouse for like wholesale stuff, which moved to Emporia, and they, slashed their staff by like 2/3. And now further cuts to Discmania as House of Discs continues to struggle with, sales and cost of sales.
What's the out? What is the out for House of Discs? Because you can only just like tighten the belt so many times, right?
Right.
Like without making like major shifts in terms of cost cutting,
breaking your business completely.
Right. So what's out? Do you expect them to consolidate brands? Like just completely cut some brands off? Do you expect them to sell it off in pieces? Like what's the out here for House of Discs?
Here's the thing. All of the communication that we've gotten from them is that they don't want to try to like close down brands. They want them to have their own identity. Are they actually succeeding in that? I am not so sure. I think any savvy disc golf consumer, like the people listening to this podcast, understands that the discs are being produced in the same place, and like maybe there's some plastic differentiation, but not tremendously so. And so where are we here? What is it that makes these brands unique now that you have the original founders of Discmania and DD not really in the picture anymore in terms of running those operations? So to answer your question, what's the out? Well, you could just keep cutting, but then, you have what was the point of all the acquisitions in the first place? I mean, at some point you just have to face the realities of, if you're losing money, you have to do something about it. The private equity firm who invested in all of these companies and bought the absolute top of the disc golf market for many tens of millions of dollars more than they probably should have paid, they're like, at some point maybe they consider trying to cut their losses. And what does that look like? It probably means selling the brands back to their original founders or somebody else. But like, is it so impossible to imagine? I mean, I remember this was a crazy story. What did they pay? I'm going to look it up.
Are you about
Dave
to hold on?
Portnoy?
Yes, I was literally about to bring this up. I was like, oh, you mean like Barstool? Like,
so he sells Barstool to Penn Entertainment. He sold a 36% stake in 2020 and sold the remaining 64% in 2023. He sold it for about $500 million. Okay. February 2023, the transaction for the rest of the Barstool. then in August of the same year, he bought Barstool back from Penn for $1.
Yeah.
The finesse of a lifetime. I'm not a big Dave Portnoy fan. I'm not really a big Barstool fan, but
me neither. Not my fan.
are you serious? Incredible. Because they just wanted to get out. They wanted to go do the deal with ESPN to make ESPN Bet, which now exists. And they were out. But that is unbelievable. And I feel like we could see a similar thing play out here if they decide that they just want to cut bait.
Right. It's honestly that they might. And the question is like, do you think that, like, what's the price that you see and buys back?
I don't know. I mean, it's like a question. The big question is like a lot of these folks. I mean, they got money, but they also have some amount of shares in House of Discs. So they want to see the House of Discs do well, but they probably also care a lot about their individual brands. And so I don't know what's going to happen, but this is like, I feel like it's getting uglier rather than better. And that's not a great sign for how things are going. When you have, really key long-term people quitting and making big Facebook posts about it. Like, at what point is Discmania just not, it's just a subsidiary of Latitude, right? It's like not its own business anymore.
Yeah.
And maybe that's how they look at it. I mean, like, in some ways, this is the logical endpoint of all of these acquisitions. It's cutting until you've centralized everything into single manufacturing point, single distribution point. But you remember, they're also going through the tariff headwinds. So, it's got to be brutal times right now.
Absolutely. I want UC to walk into that meeting with a briefcase that has nothing but $1 and €1 coin in it that he just like pops open and he goes, "Which one do you want, gentlemen? This is my price. I'll buy it back, but this is what you get."
Oh my gosh. It's crazy.
It's crazy times.
It's like, where's the industry at? I got another one for you. I'm working on a longer story about it, but I'll let you go, and then I've got one for you.
Okay, all right. I don't know if you saw this press release, Charlie. It came out yesterday, Monday, May 12th, from DGPT, introducing the all-new DGPT Creators Challenge.
Oh, I saw this, but I didn't really look at it. So tell me more.
Okay, so it's going to be happening at Pickard Park on Thursday, I presume before Des Moines, right, if it's in Pickard Park on a Thursday. So that's my assumption, but I've not confirmed the date necessarily. It is going to be an alternate shot doubles with some twists. And we do have the rosters and the teams already. So we have, I'll just say the team pairings. And then if you want to know more about the creators, then you can go pull that. So on card 1, you have Simon and James Makes Music. On card 2, you have Alden and Bodanza. Card 3, Gannon Burr with Jay Milley. Sorry, I'm saying card. This is all one card. This team 3. Pairing number 4 is Kona and the Party Podcast, which based on the images does look like it will be Christine Jennings and Hannah Macbeth. So it looks like Kona is going to be getting going to be in a trio as opposed to doubles. That probably is to account for the fact that Kona is the only FPO player that is registered, that is included on this list. Brody Smith and Hunter Thomas, I feel like they were cowards for putting them together. Spice it up. Put Hunter on the same card but a different team. Come on, guys. Ezra Aderhold and Robbie C. Silas Schultz and Broderick. And then Paul Ulibarri and Trevor Staub. So it is doubles. It's going to be a 12-hole modified course layout. Alternate shot with signature hole twists. So on hole 5, they have an ace run challenge where every 3 attempts per team to chase chains. Each player must throw at least once. Play resumes from the closest throw. Spin to throw, where they'll spin a wheel that will tell them what they have to throw on hole 6.
Okay.
And then hole 16 is fan substitution, where the creator picks a fan from the crowd who takes the tee shot for the pro and plays out the rest of the hole.
Okay.
Charlie, there's a reason to bring your bag to a disc golf tournament.
Okay, listen, I couldn't attend this because I'll be in Europe. But why are we not invited?
Why are we not?
What is it that we're doing over here? Are we creating? I would say we are creating. So what's going on, Pro Tour?
Robbed. We could have even been the Upshot. We could have been the Upshot and been a team together. It's outrageous.
Outrageous. Anyway, look, I think this is a smart idea.
Mm-hmm.
I think this is like they're going to get a bunch of press around this tournament. This feels like smart. When are they doing this? This is before...
It's before Des Moines, I believe. So it's Thursday, June 26th. And it's in Pickard Park in Iowa. So...
All right. I mean, I feel like it's a cool idea.
Yeah. It's fun. It's people. It's like people that people like these creators. They like these disc golfers. It's $10 for a ticket. Like, I think this is great. This is great fun. You can watch it live on DGN.
They're going to stream it, huh?
Yeah. Free on DGN or YouTube.
Okay.
So,
I mean, this is the kind of thing that helps disc golf grow. It helps connect generalized disc golf fans who have found these various creators through various channels to connect to the professional scene and maybe tune in to watch it live and have some fun. It's lighthearted, and I think it's like what's the downside here? There's none. It's just smart. And
go right now to every elementary school and bring tickets and sign up field trips and promise discs for every kid that comes and a $5 off general admission entry if you come back with your family for the Des Moines Challenge.
I like that. Make disc golf fun again. No, it's a cool idea. It really is.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's fun. I love it.
The Upshot is presented by Pound Disc Golf, makers of the best bags in the sport. I've always been someone who likes a little bit of a smaller disc golf bag, so I was super excited when Pound came out with the Rufus a couple years ago. It's just the perfect size for me, but I just got a Vagabond. It's their shoulder strap carry bag, versatile enough to serve the needs of avid disc golfers or beginners alike. You can just use it for a quick round. Honestly, I might use it as a diaper bag. It is like the perfect small diaper bag. But if you are trying to carry discs in it, it can hold 10 to 12 in the main pocket. It's got some hall pockets on the outside. It's super light. It's super small. You can throw it in your trunk. It could be a practice bag. I actually have a toolbox from back when Pound made those. That didn't have a shoulder strap. It was just kind of like hand carry. That was my disc golf bag for a couple of years before I got a Rufus. Now this Vagabond is going to be probably a go-to for me when I just want to go out and have a quick round, or I want to take a bag with me on vacation. Boom. Small, it's less expensive, it's a great option. And you can make it custom if you want over at pounddiscgolf.com. Check it out. All right, Josh, I just popped it up on the screen. Take a look. PDGA membership is 2016. The solid line is your actual membership numbers through 2024. Okay. And then we have the PDGA projections. I spoke directly with Doug Bierkus about this. They're projecting to be down again in 2025 and then flat for 2026. That's what they're like budgeting for, basically.
Okay.
And then I also overlaid growth trends of both 10% and 15% off of the 2019 numbers. So keep in mind that disc golf was generally growing somewhere in that range between 10 and 15% up through about 2019. That was pretty consistent over time. And then obviously we see this crazy COVID bump. But now, really coming back down to earth, and PDGA still projecting some softness, not only a downturn this year, but then a flat next year. So I'm curious for your thoughts on this chart.
I think this is a great graphic. It definitely represents kind of what we've kind of hypothesized, as well as others in the industry who we've talked to in interviews have said as well, is that their speculation is that, we jumped way ahead of our growth curve and we're kind of regressing back to that growth curve. I think it is smart for the PDGA to project flat for 2026. It might even be still like they probably could have even projected a little bit more conservative to be safe, but I understand. Like, I'm glad that they're not projecting, oh yeah, we're going to be back at the 15% mark, right? It's just, hey, we're going to be flat. Let's see what happens. Again, projection. I'm hoping that they're wrong. I'm hoping it bumps up. I think there's a good chance that it does, if we can see that rebound. But it's because I think that it's interesting to see the way that, pandemic obviously, but I would be curious to see, what happened to disc golf in 2008, right? Like, what happens with a relatively cheap, accessible outdoor recreation in times of, economic distress? If we continue down a path that people are feeling the pinch, maybe they're not going to the movie theaters, maybe they're not going to professional sporting events, and so they're playing disc golf more. And so it's going to be interesting to see. And I don't have any stats to project the way that is, but I don't think it's like the problem. The alarm bells are not because disc golf's in a bad place. It's because we didn't manage the growth and then subsequent flattening and a little bit contraction from a completely unsustainable growth properly, right? That's the issue. That is the problem that disc golf is facing. And so it's encouraging to see that we are still ahead, because notice, if you look at this year, we're still ahead of the 15% growth trend. And so that is an encouraging sign. And it's maybe not quite as doom and gloom as maybe House of Disc feels.
I mean, yeah, I feel like it was like a sugar rush.
Yeah.
And you're seeing us just come straight back to trend.
Uh-huh.
And I think the question will be, as we go out to 2027, 2028, do we resume somewhere in that 10% growth path? Now, listen, if the PDGA and disc golf writ large could sign up for 10% growth annually for the next 20 years, they would take that 100%. Okay. That would be amazing. I think it's hard maybe to conceptualize how good 10% compounded growth is, even over a 20-year span. I mean, you can do the math, right? At the PDGA, sitting at around 110,000 members in 2026, right? That's what they're projecting. So you want to do 10% growth, 20 years, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That's 740,000 members 20 years on.
That's all right.
Yeah.
That's all right.
It's really good. And it only keeps getting better. So to me, this is just like a natural consequence of a super hockey stick level of growth. And it's not even clear to me that there's anything that could have been done to prevent some of this outflow of participation and interest, because these are people who were never that in the first place,
right? Who
are now going out back to their normal lives after a very strange couple of years around the world.
Agreed. I just wish we had treated that as like a one-time capital injection and said, okay, hey, we just got a one-time massive increase in membership. That gave us this much unexpected revenue. We should consider this a one-time dollars, not reoccurring. That's how you should. And then you say, what projects do we need to do? What do we want to accomplish with just a big influx of cash, and we continue to run everything else the way that we've always run it?
Yeah. It's everyone's learning that lesson.
Yeah,
everyone's right sizing. I mean, it's when demand is through the ceiling, and the only thing you can think is we got to hire because we have to be able to make more products or run more tournaments or provide more support. You got no choice. You got to grow to meet the demand where it's at. And, some companies were a little bit wiser, I think, about how they did that than others. There was definitely some overexpansion across, pretty much everywhere in the industry. And, this is the hangover.
It's a hangover. Yep, sure is. All right, Charlie, I've got one last subject for you.
Great.
It's ratings day, baby. We got to talk ratings.
It's ratings day? Oh,
it's ratings day.
All right.
I know. Kristen Lett stays flat, 1,003, does not move. Holland Hanley also stays flat at 991. Those top two rated FPO players, they stay right at where they were. Missy Gannon jumps up to third with a 5-point jump to 985.
Nice.
Big month for Missy. Own drops 3 points to 983. This keeps her in fourth. So trading, Missy jumps up and leapfrogs over Own. Also leapfrogs Evelina Salonen, who dropped 3 points to 981. And then Silva moves up to +1 to 980, joining the 980 club. And so those are your top 5 players over in 6. I can count 6 players over an FPO who are in the 980 club.
So 980s. There you go.
Yeah.
980 is the new 960.
It sure is. Over on MPO, Gannon Burr stays flat, 1057. Ricky Wysocki. Gannon Burr went up 1. Gannon Burr goes up 1 to 1057. Ricky Wysocki stays flat at 1052. Isaac Robinson jumps another point up to 1047, stays in solo third. Paul Macbeth jumps 2 points to 1046, giving him fourth place. Calvin Heinberg flat, 1045. Keeping him at 5th place. And then rounding out your 1040 club, Nicholas Ontel at 1044, Chris Dickerson 1043, Kyle Klein 1043, Evan Smith 1043, up 3 points.
Okay, Evan, all right.
We see you. Ezra Robinson drops 3 points to 1043. So the hype train over there cooling just a little bit. And then Anthony Barella drops 1 point at 1042 to kind of cap off the 1040 club.
A couple notes for you. Isaac all-time high at 1047.
Yeah.
Feels appropriate coming off the Champions Cup win. Paul Macbeth at his high water mark since September 2023.
Wow.
So, of course, Macbeth holds the record. He was in the 1060s for a few months there back in 2019 into 2020. And then, was in the 1050s for a while and slowly kind of dropped down into the 1030s last year as he was dealing with the injury and just really not playing that well. And he's been playing much better this season, and that's now being reflected in the rating as he gets back to 1046 for the first time since September 2023. That's the big notes.
Yeah.
Gannon not quite to his all-time high, but I think he's 2 points off it. Has he cracked 1060 yet? I don't think he ever has.
No, he is not. He's not.
He got to 1059 in the first update of 2025.
I think Paul is the only player to have ever cracked the 1060s.
I think that's right. But Gannon is knocking on the door like a good month right now, and he could break through that.
Well, he's got a lot of 4 or 5 round tournaments coming up over the next month and a half. So
that's true. And he just won the Masters Cup this past weekend.
Yes, he did.
Nicholas Antela in a playoff. Yeah. Coverage is up on YouTube if you want to check it out. Should we shout out some Masters Worlds winners while we're at it?
We should shout out. I was literally just pulling that up. I was like,
it's U.S. Masters. I never keep it straight.
I can't either.
I have some other notes on the weekend. So, Masters Cup, first of all, mentioned Gannon. Own wins in FPO 3 strokes ahead in front of Hannah Wynn. Hannah Wynn keeping it going, Josh.
She is. Holy smokes.
I think, looking like a breakout player of the year front runner right now.
Yeah.
The Lexington Open was an A tier in Kentucky. Nathan Queen gets the win over Zach Arlinghouse by a couple of strokes. Maria Guerrero wins by 9 strokes over Macy Vela Diaz. Cosmic Open at Maple Hill. Simon wins by 10 strokes over Landon Brooks. on his essentially home course in Leicester. Carly Bennett wins by 5 strokes over Cassandra Leoy in FPO. I got a text from Steve Dodge, who...
Oh, did we? What did Steve have?
Well, so it's interesting. They've been making some changes to the course.
Okay.
He said, here's the 3 storylines from Cosmic Open. Number 1, Simon wins going away.
Yeah.
Number 2, the weather was bad on day 1. Simon shot 3 down, and it was 1078 rated. Number 3, and I think this is, for me, the most interesting thing about this tournament, looking ahead to the MVP Open, the new hole 17, which has been redesigned, has teeth, averaging well over par and playing as the toughest hole, along with new hole 9 relative to par. So they're adding some new toughness out there, Josh.
Yeah, you leave Steve to his devices, right? He'll find something to do. I will say I just have a slight. I want to see the pros play it attitude to this, because, if you were to say, oh, there's a 550-foot par 3 with a water carry, of course, at a local A tier, that's going to be the hardest hole on tour, or hardest hole on the course, right?
Fair.
But for pros, maybe that's different. And so gotta see the real competition play it, but interesting to hear the changes to Maple Hill.
The new hole 9, 650-foot par 4, was not birdied in MPO.
Yikes. Okay.
17 didn't get birdied until the final round. There were 3 birdies on the final day: Miles Sayer, Dylan Horse, and Harry Chase. That is a 726-foot par 4.
Okay.
So even on this easiest day, it's averaged almost a full stroke over par.
That's a hard hole. It's a
hard hole. So it'd be interesting to look ahead to that. U.S. Masters Championships in Ruidoso, New Mexico. Love it. Nate Sexton wins by 2 strokes over Paul Oman and Daniel Polk. Puts together a very nice 10-under final round. Jen Allen dominates in FPO, wins by 23 strokes over Lisa Fakis. Owen wasn't there. Owen played at Masters Cup. If Owen is there, Owen's probably the favorite. Schwebe wins MP50. Juliana wins FP50. Hank Kirwan, MP55. Karen Sattler, FP55. Jim Oates, MP60 by stroke. Christine Westis, FP60. Eric Rainey, MP65. Sandy Gast, thank you. Sandy Gast, dominant win in FP65. Jay Gobrecht wins MP70. Lori Cloyas Chupa from Nevada, from Las Vegas, wins FP70. Ron Engbritson, MP75. Barry Fisher, MP80.
Beats
Sylvia
Pete May.
Vokes, FP80. Come on. Yeah, Barry Fisher over Pete May.
Pete May, a legend.
MP80. That is wild.
Yeah.
I'm not going to read off all the amateur champs, but congrats to them as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of division. 80. That is so cool.
80.
That's how many? Let's see. So we have an MPO. We had, was it just 3? It was 3 of them in MPO, and probably 3 in FPO from the looks of it.
What are you talking about?
3 in FPO. 3 players. There were 6 80-year-olds competing in this event.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, number of players.
You said MPO. I was getting confused.
Sorry, I meant MP80.
You meant in the MP80 division.
MP80. In FP80 combined, you have 6 80-year-olds out there slinging discs.
That's awesome.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So I'm sorry, Carlos Rigby, you missed cash, finishing 3rd in a 3-person division. And I guess there was a cut because he didn't play the final round. Yeah, there was a cut. Damn.
Man, I wonder what it's
even
like.
the Pro Tour doesn't have cuts like this.
I wonder what it's like to be the Pro Tour, or to like have tournaments with actual cuts. I mean, I just, Charlie, I just feel so bad that he didn't get to play on final day and get a chance to earn himself back into cash. It's a dumb argument. Make cuts every tournament. Gosh.
But yeah, we're into the swing of the season here, Josh. We've got people are playing disc golf tournaments all over the world.
They are, yeah. It's a good time.
All right. I think that's it for me. You got anything else?
That's all I got.
All right.
Stars tonight.
Good luck. I genuinely mean it. I couldn't be happier about the New York Knicks. I also have it's not a great number because I could have gotten a much better number later in the season, but I am holding a plus 500 New York Knicks to win the East ticket.
Whoa.
So I'm feeling good about that right now.
Yeah.
We are now the favorites to win the East.
All right.
After last night. So come on. Have a great rest of your Tuesday, everyone. We'll be back with you Thursday for some stock up, stock down, and to get you ready for the Cascade Challenge. For Josh Mansfield, I'm Charlie Eisenhood saying so long, and we'll talk to you on Thursday right here on The Upshot.